living, which is ridiculous because they can't make enough to support themselves since they can't get a job because they're not party members. And they can't become party members even if they wanted to because they don't have a job. A man on the street sees what's happening, and when they're told that they're going to be taxed for not being party members, the man kind of just looks over and he like walks away. And this kind of reminded me of a saying of what happened in Nazi Germany, that they came for the Jews and I said nothing. They came for the gypsies and I said nothing. But when they came for me, there was no one left to say something. So that's kind of what that reminded me of. And yeah. So in chapter 14, the chapter begins describing another unfortunate event. It describes a family's house that's kind of broken down, and it leads to more people being displaced from their houses. So this allowed Leo to finally get a job clearing rubble from the houses. Kira was able to get a job because the Museum of the Revolution had an exhibit in honor of the Swedish trade union delegates that came to visit. Kira's job was to letter cardboard inscriptions. Leo then got a job shoveling snow for 3 days. Kira got a job teaching French. Leo tutored a proletarian student. They're not happy with their current living situations, but they hope that things will eventually be able to get better and that the communists will eventually fall out of power. Or that they will be able to escape abroad. On the other hand, the Soviets are holding up hope that they will be able to defeat the capitalists soon. Each side produces media that supports their side of the conflict. So the communists are saying that they will soon defeat the capitalists abroad, and the capitalists are saying that they're soon going to take the communists out of their country. At the end of the section, Kira and Leo leave the theater in which they're seeing all of this propaganda. And the next scene, the Upravdom knocks on Leo and Kira's door and tells them that every tenant has to attend a meeting. Kira tries to sneak out of this meeting and she's chastised by the Upravdom. Victor goes to visit and then gives news as to how their family is doing. He describes the family's difficulties but dismisses it and says that they are doing their social duty because Victor's family has also had people move into their house because of the people being displaced from their houses by the houses falling down and so on. And the next scene, a girl walks in with orders from the Gilotero and says that she has permission to live in their drawing room, which deeply upsets Kira and Leo because they see their home as their own space and it's being invaded by the people that they don't agree with in the first place. They complain to the Upravdom and are told to stop being selfish, that they need to do their social duty and that the woman needs a place to live. So then, because they aren't happy with the Upravdom's decision, they try to appeal this case in the People's Court, which did not work in their favor. And they had to give up their furniture since Marina could not sleep on the floor. Karina then asks her questions, but mostly finds out nothing from Marina. Victor comes over again and begs Kira to let him meet Andre, which she doesn't really respond to. Marisha asks Kira what she uses for birth control because she's been fooling around with some of the party members and she doesn't really know what to do. After this, Kira defies the party by engaging in an act of vanity because the communists really rejected acts of vanity. They wanted everything to be very simplistic. You're not supposed to have any more materialistic objects than you have. And she begins to work on a dress. Baba was able to get more things smuggled in from abroad because if you remember from the first section, she got French face powder smuggled in. Baba gives Kira an old pair of silk stockings, which again is really incredibly frowned upon by the party because they reject vanity. And Kira repairs these stockings. One day, Leo is late from coming home and Kira gets a call from Asya that something is wrong. Marina is having a hemorrhage. The hospital refuses to admit her or send anyone to their house. So then we later find out after Kira gets there and she talks to her family that Marina passes away. In the scene after Marina's death, Andre comes over and invites Kira to go watch Swan Lake. Andre ultimately finds out that Kira has not been eating properly and gives her money and orders her more food because they went on a date at like a restaurant. And that's the end of chapter 14.